Residents of Ukraine's capital described their immediate reactions following a mass Russian drone and missile attack. According to Associated Press, the attack included a rare strike in the center of the city, early Thursday, and killed at least 8 people, wounding 45, local authorities said. Resident Sophia Akylova said it was the first time a Russian strike hit very close to her home. Everyone is suffering now. It's coming to any areas. As we can see, no negotiations have yielded anything yet. Unfortunately, people are suffering, added Akylova. It was the first major Russian combined attack on Kiev in weeks as US-led peace efforts to end the 3-year war struggled to gain traction. Among the dead were 2 children, Interior Minister Ihor Klymenko said, citing preliminary information. The numbers are expected to rise. Rescue teams were on site to pull people trapped underneath the rubble. Smoke billowed from the crumbled column of a 5-story residential building in the Darnitsky district, which suffered a direct hit. An acrid stench of burning material wafted in the air as firefighters worked to contain the blaze. Amid the destruction, emergency responders searched for survivors and pulled out bodies. Crowds of residents stood nearby, waiting for relatives to retrieve from the rubble.
Поки чекайте дозволу, поки не буде дозволено туди дозволу. На даний момент, на дану територію обмежено.
Ну, почув сильний вибух, прилетіло в сусідній будинок, впало на голову двері. Це все, що було. Всю квартиру розтрощило, у нас 2 машини побило. Так, поки зараз ще дуже не роздивлялися, вийшли одразу на вулицю і пішли в укриття.
Спочатку чула вибухи просто на фоні, потім один сильний вибух, і тоді вже вибило вікна, і я хотіла вже вставати бігти, але одразу буквально пару секунд, і вже другий вибух був. І тоді вже все, ми вибігаємо, двері, вікно немає, але добре, що всі живі. Да, чесно, щоб так близько ще ніколи не прилітало. В будь-якому разі зараз страждають всі і прилітає в будь-які райони. І, як бачимо, ніякі перемовини поки нічого не дають, люди страждають, на жаль.
In the Kursk region, the Russian army has once again struck its own population. In the village of Kharkiv, Glushkovsky district, a Russian military plane dropped an air bomb, which fell right on a residential area. The incident occurred on the eve of the onset of autumn cold weather, leaving dozens of people homeless. Local residents filmed a video from the scene. At least 10 houses were destroyed. Most of them had only walls and foundations left. According to preliminary data, the bomb itself did not explode, it was removed from the resulting crater. However, even the blast wave from the fall was enough to cause damage comparable to a direct hit. Eyewitnesses report that the force of the impact was such that the surviving windows were blown out even on neighboring streets. One of the residents said that the house collapsed like a card. The bomb, presumably a FAB-500, is a typical munition that regularly falls from Russian aircraft in the Belgorod and Kursk regions. The reliability of Russian equipment remains at a level. Such incidents are becoming more frequent. This is not the first time that the Russian army has bombed its own territory. The military explains this by abnormal ammunition failures, but in fact it is a systemic problem. The bombs, suspensions, and equipment used are outdated and worn out. Such self-damage has become routine. From Sevastopol to Belgorod, Russians are increasingly suffering from their own aviation.
И снова здравствуйте, односельчане. Вчера я вам показывал, что у нас на дороге лежала бомба. Вот, пожалуйста, тут, где она лежала. Яма в мой рост, 1,70 м. А это ее последствия. Вот дом и летняя кухня Юры Воловченко. Вот, если вы видите, пожалуйста, это ее последствия. Соседский домик, он у бабушки был. Это дом пожилой. Вот еще. Это дом пожилой пары Вити с Таней. Теперь жить негде. Собственно говоря, вот все вы сами заметили. Любителям ТикТока и Телеграма, которые говорят, что об этом не пишут, поэтому этого не бывает. Вот оно. Сейчас еще пройду домик Саши, покажу нашего инженера, чтобы видели.
In the aftermath of the 24th of August drone strike, the Syzran oil refinery in Russia's Samara Oblast, about 1,000 kilometers from Ukraine, is no longer operational due to the destruction of its most critical equipment. Russian telegram channel Astra, citing sources in the emergency services, reported that the facility lost the AVT-6 primary processing unit, the L-35-6 secondary unit, and the pump station, all essential for continued refinery operations. Amid the ongoing Russo-Ukrainian war, Russia continues to receive substantial oil and gas revenues that help sustain its war effort. Recently, Ukraine inflicted damage on the Druzhba pipeline, a key route used to pump oil to Russia's allies, Hungary and Slovakia. In recent weeks and months, Ukraine has intensified its campaign against Russian oil processing and storage infrastructure, severely damaging several facilities and completely disabling others. According to Astra, 5 drones exploded on site on the 24th of August, 3 of which directly struck key infrastructure. 5 more drones were reportedly shot down on approach. No injuries were reported as all 240 employees had sheltered during the attack. The refinery owned by Rosneft is one of Samara Oblast's largest oil processing enterprises, producing a wide range of petroleum products and supplying fuel to central Russian oblasts and military units, Euromaidan press media outlet recalls. Following earlier drone strikes on the 15th of August, the facility had already suffered major damage and had suspended crude oil intake and processing. The 15th of August attack struck the ELOU AVT-6 unit, designed for desalting and primary crude oil distillation, and also damaged several storage tanks. The refinery has also been targeted multiple times this year, with incidents in February and March causing fires. According to Reuters, Ukrainian drone strikes in August have disabled 17% of Russia's oil refining capacity. The situation has contributed to worsening fuel shortages across Russia and occupied Ukrainian territories, particularly in Crimea, Zabaikalsky Krai, Vladivostok, Buryatia, and Primorsky Krai. According to Sergei Vakulenko of the Carnegie Russia-Eurasia Center, the damaged plants have lost only part of their output, but even limited disruptions can impact supply. He previously worked for Gazprom Neft. Russia depends on oil and gas for a quarter of its budget revenues. This year, it raised defense spending by 25%, reaching Cold War-era levels. Despite sanctions, Moscow continues large-scale weapons production. Still, economic growth has slowed, causing concern in the Kremlin.